Hello?
Hi!
This is weird. This is weird. But they said that this is when I should start. So this is when I'm gonna start. So we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna go straight into it. I don't have it. I don't subscribe. Hi. I don't subscribe to pomp and or circumstance. Hello. I'm here for my panel. I made it. I gotta swap the song over. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Hi. Hi everybody. So good to see you all. I hope you're all having a fantastic time at OffKai. I wish I could be there, but it's like gas is like a fucking $500 a gallon. I'm playing Deadly Premonition a lot lately. And one of the things York complains about is how gas is $5 a gallon. Little did we know that game is set in current year. But it's so exciting to be here at the first OffKai. It's exciting. I hope that you guys are having a great time out there on the floor, having fun, you know, all that good stuff, seeing VTubers, going to panels. But let's see. This feels like, you know, like when you have to do one of those group presentations where you have to go and talk out in front of the class. It feels like that, only I haven't done any prep work and I don't have any pants on. Like how they say, like if you're honest or something, just imagine that the entire audience is not wearing any pants right now. I feel like I'm the one not wearing any pants. Well, the purpose of the panel today is to talk about independent VTubing and what it's like to be your own manager. And I'm here to tell you that every day it's like a waking nightmare. It's like a stroke like best thing you've ever done in your entire life, mixed with waking up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, just like pure fear, pure anger, pure scared. Like it's so scary. It's fucked up. Like something that was always very interesting to me before I became a content creator was we're just gonna get right into it, I guess. I mean, I'm just here to talk. I'm here to talk for 30 minutes. It's what I do. You'd be surprised when you make your entire career / hobby based on the nature, based on the activity of talking. It can be really weird. It can be really hard to do it sometimes, but that's not important right now. So, before I became a content creator, something that it changes your perspective a lot. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now. It changes your perspective to the point where you're like, oh, you know, before I became a streamer, I was like, oh, this guy's only got 500 viewers right now? That's a small stream. That guy's a small streamer. Jeez Louise. He doesn't even have, you know, 3,000 viewers. Jeez, what a small stream. To the point where now, as a content creator, it's like, I would like kill somebody for 500 viewers. Maybe that's not a good thing to say, but I feel like a lot of people resonate with that, right? Like you go from like, that guy only has 500 viewers, oh what a chud, what a loser, to, oh my god, I can't believe that I finally have 10 viewers, oh my god, 10 viewers. I can't believe it. It's so exciting, but it's fucked up. It's hard, man. It's hard. My stream chat kept telling me to do drugs before I did this, but I decided against taking drugs before doing the panel. They're like, it'll be funny, you'll get banned. You'll get banned from OffKai Expo, and it'll be really funny. And it would be pretty funny, but I would also like to stay in the good graces of the convention staff. I'd like to stay in their good graces. So we're just gonna do stuff. We're just gonna talk. All right. Okay. And that's another thing. Chad is right. I should have taken drugs. Well, yeah. I can still. What? No.
It's nothing.
No. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You can't peer pressure me. You can't peer pressure me. Let's see. And like, so, as a content creator, I've talked to a lot of people. I've got a lot of friends who are also streamers and content creators and VTubers. Even people who aren't their own manager, even people who don't handle all of this stuff by themselves, experience this sort of feeling, no googly eyes, you can't do redeems, you can't do redeems, you can't do it. A lot of people who aren't even their own managers experience this sort of anxiety. I don't really know how to describe it other than like falling off a cliff and dying is what it's like, where it's like, oh yeah, things are going well. People like actually care about my content. People actually care about me. This is great. And then the next thought that you have in your mind is, what if everybody just like leaves and decides they hate me now? And then I fall off a cliff and die. Is the next logical conclusion to that thought. And it's very common. I've encountered exactly 2 people who have not thought this way. Exactly 2 content creators who I know who do not think this way, at least sometimes. And they are the happiest people I've ever known in my entire life, and I wish I could be like them. I try to emulate being like them. When you get into that really bad place of like imposter syndrome mixed with like, you know, so hard, it's hard to overcome it. It is, it really is. It's hard, and I feel like a lot of it comes from like an internalized lack of self-worth. Like people who don't feel like they deserve to either be like loved or like, you know, paid attention to or whatever. And I feel like that's also something that's very common in the indie VTubing community, at least. I honestly can't say for corporate because I don't know much about it, because they like to keep a lot of things secret. There's like hearsay and rumors about the things that go on in the annals of corporate VTubing. But again, it's all just like rumors and hearsay basically, or like people who got out of it, you know, like K-Sun. And they're like, oh geez Louise, man, it sure did suck when I tried to do this thing and it didn't happen or whatever. I don't know. But just like, when you are a VTuber, you kind of experience, you are submerged in this environment of like anxiety, I guess. Like smaller content creators, smaller VTubers, and you know, I think everyone, even once you reach a certain point, like, and the thing is too, is that your perspective changes. Like, when, you know, people first start out, a lot of the time, they would think like, oh, you know, 10 viewers, that's so much. Oh, you know, 20 viewers, that's so much, you know, or, you know, you remember the feeling, but you don't remember the numbers, so to say. Like, I remember, like, a year ago, right? I remember I was super, like, pogged out of my skull. I was like, oh my God, I've got 24 people here watching me play Mario Golf. That is peak. That is keynote, bro. I'm this never gonna get any better than this. This is the best day I've ever had, is the way that you feel. But you keep getting that feeling of like, oh my God, this amount of people, or oh my God, these people, oh my God, so many people care, right? And it makes you feel good. But there's a flip side to that as well, where if you feel like you're not performing in the way that you, for whatever arbitrary reason, your mind sets the expectation that you should be performing, it can be pretty bad, particularly for a lot of people. I feel like they try to use content creation and VTubing in the VTubing community as like a supplement for self-worth. And this isn't just exclusive to VTubing or content creation even. I think that a lot of people use social media, whether it's, you know, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, for affirmation and for like to give them self-worth, when the real issue is like a lack of self-worth, right? Like you can't, it's like putting a Band-Aid on, you know, a broken leg. It's not gonna do anything. It might make you feel a little better, like superficially, but the problem is still there, and the problem is not being addressed, which again, I believe is a lack of self-worth and a lack of self-love. So if you do go, like, and there's another discourse that tends to happen in the VTubing community where, depending, like, there are people who are like, oh, you should never do this for, you know, oh, if you only do this for fame or money or whatever, then that's just superficial and that's wrong. And then there are people who are like, you should just do VTubing for whatever reason that you want to do it for, right? Like there's no inherently bad or wrong reason for doing it, unless you're like a bad person, right? Like if you're someone who abuses others, takes advantage of them, you know, uses people only for clout or growth, that sort of thing, then obviously that's problematic. But I kind of feel mixed about it because I don't like to be like the kind of person that's like, you can't do something if you don't have this reasoning for doing it. That's like gatekeeping and it's kind of weird. But I also feel like if you are using VTubing or content creation, VTubing, social media, whatever, as a supplement for self-worth, then you're always going to be stuck wanting more. You are always going to be unsatisfied, and you are always going to want more, right? Like no matter what. Like again, like how I say the feelings stay the same, but the numbers differ. Like when you have 25 years, you're going to be like, this is the best day of my life. And when you feel like you're underperforming, you're going to be like, I feel like shit, right? I feel bad. Clearly it's reflective on me, right? And that's something that you really have to learn to tackle with. That's something that you really have to learn how to deal with as a content creator. And it's like, in a kind of a weird way, that sort of feeling is what's helped me realize that it had to be like self-love that gets you there. Like you can't get it from other people, where it's like falling into that trap of like, oh geez, you know, maybe once I get, you know, this milestone, then I'll finally be happy. Once I have this amount of followers, then I'll be happy, you know? But it's never gonna come. It's never gonna happen if you want it to be like that, because it's just wrong. That's just, you know, it's just bad. I don't know how else to say it. So again, you should be able to VTube for whatever reason you want. You know, if you want to VTube and your goal is to get, you know, 1 million subscribers on YouTube, that should be valid. That's fine, right? But you got to know where to draw the line. You can't put, and that's another difficult thing about being an indie VTuber, where a lot of people are just putting fully themselves and who they are into the content that they create. Like you're putting yourself out there for other people to see and judge and, you know, whatever, right? And it's hard. It's hard, and it's a really scary thing to do as well. It's really scary and it's really hard. And it's just like, well, what are we gonna do, right? Like, if you feel like you're putting yourself out there and it's not getting the response that you might want or the response that you see other people getting, right? Then you're gonna internalize that and think that it's some sort of intrinsic fault in yourself, which is not the case for the most part. I would say that for most content creators, their problem is not their content, so to say, right? Like when you look at, particularly for variety streaming and personality-based streaming content, like being a variety streamer or like a Let's Player, like Markiplier or, you know, Jacksepticeye, whoever, right? It's sort of hard to objectively quantify what it is that separates Markiplier from somebody else who isn't as successful, right? It sort of feels like they have this thing that is like intangible and unreachable, so to say, where it's like well, how do I do that? How do I replicate that? You can, do everything that Markiplier does, for example, and still not be successful. Because the truth is, and this is something that I think a lot of people need to come to terms with, the truth is about being a content creator is that you can do everything right. You can do everything correct. Objectively, you can do everything right. And you will still not be quote unquote successful. Which ties back again into how if you use this as a supplement for self-worth and you use this as trying to find something within yourself that you don't have in a way that isn't healthy, right? Like obviously it can be fulfilling and oh, it's a creative outlet and I'm satisfied because I get to, be happy and create what I want and that's what's important to me. Obviously there's a lot of nuance to that sort of thing and I'm by no means an authority on this sort of thing, of course. I'm just a clown. I'm just a semi-professional e-clown. It's just not, it's not good. You're not gonna ever be happy, you're not gonna ever be satisfied because of how archaic it is, how crazy and weird it is. And another thing that you see not only in the VTubing community, but with smaller content creators in general, is a lot of people get fixated on this idea of window dressing. They get fixated on this idea of oh, if I had better audio, then I would be more successful. If I had a better model, then I would be more successful. And then a big one, a really big one, particularly in indie VTubing discourse, is if I was not a male content creator, I would be more successful. And I just don't believe that any of those are particularly true because there are exceptions to every rule for that. There are people who, are PNG VTubers. They don't even have a model who are, more successful than people that have full models. There's, male content creators who are way more successful than female content creators in the VTubing space. And it's just trying to find some sort of thing to latch onto, I think, in the VTubing community, in the sphere of content creation, where you want something tangible that can help you define what success is. You see what successful people do. You see what people who you define as successful, you see what they're doing, and you want to try to replicate that. But again, going back, if you do every single thing that Markiplier does, that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed success, because luck is a very big part of it. But it's not only luck, it's can't buy you success in creative space. Doesn't help is dismissive, but it doesn't do the work for you. It's true, yeah. Money does help, and that sort of ties into a lot of things where it's money helps because one of the biggest things in being an independent creator is who you know and who knows you, and networking. So, for example, you don't need an Iron Vertex model. Iron Vertex, for people who might not be aware, is it's kind of like the Rolls-Royce quality standard of VTubing models. You don't need one to be successful. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of VTubers that do not have Iron Vertex models that are very successful. But if you do have an Iron Vertex model, then you get to know the people who are in Iron Vertex. People know the people who are in Iron Vertex. And if they know you, there's a chance that they might begin to know you as well, right? It's like a trickle-down effect. And that's the most powerful thing about being able to spend money, is not necessarily, it's like luxury products. Again, like the Rolls Royce. It's like you're not just buying a car when you buy a Rolls Royce. You're buying the name Rolls Royce, And people know that Rolls Royce is significant, and therefore, if you have a Rolls Royce, maybe you're more significant. And that's not to say that it's objectively correct or morally right, but that tends to be the case. Not a self-esteem thing, but as a foot in the door, work with interesting people with very little time. Yes, this is true as well. It's hard, it's difficult. And again, it sort of goes back to there are definitely people in the space who are only seeing it as an opportunity to further themselves. Like they don't really care about the community or their community or the craft, the art of it, so to say. Like it feels weird to say that, but also it is that way. It's like performance, you know? And it's hard. It's hard dealing with that sort of person, particularly if they put on, you know, an air about them. But that's not really that important. It's just, it's difficult. And it's honestly like, it's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, but it's the most worthwhile thing I've ever done in my entire life. I love this. This is everything that I've ever wanted in my life, basically. Like, it feels weird, you know, like, oh, Jesus, no, I forgot to, Oh my God! I can't believe this. So, I mean, and this is just a me thing, right? I feel like your motivation, I talk, stop! Hold on. Okay, it's gone now. Okay, all right, it's gone. No! Where is it? I can't find it. Alert box. Alert box 2. Where is it? Where is the freaking alert box? Oh my God. Oh no. I can't find it. Wait. I found it. Now now nothing can ever take me over. How do you boss yourself around to actually get things done? The thing is, Millie, is that for me, it's so like, it doesn't even feel like work sometimes. Like there are some things that you do have to push yourself to do, like editing TikToks or editing YouTube shorts, editing YouTube videos, sending out, you know, commission requests. That's one of the most daunting things to do, actually. But for things like streaming, for me, streaming and actually making content and doing what I love, it's like nothing at all. It's like I get to do my dream. I get to live my dream every single day. And that's part of what keeps you into it, you know? But in order to boss yourself around and to get things that you don't want to do done, again, like editing TikToks, editing videos, stuff that isn't fun, it really is just, it's kind of like a discipline thing. It's kind of like, you took photos, how dare you? It's hard, it's really hard. It's a discipline thing, you know? But I guess the easiest thing to do, no! The easiest thing to say is, you just gotta, thank you for the VOD. How? Turi, you son of a gun! That was you, I know that was you! Turi! Stop! What you gotta do is you gotta do it. You just gotta like, take one step at a time, one day at a time. You know, that's what my dad always told me. My father always told me that this entire fail is being recorded. I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel if you would like to watch it again. Look to the damn wall. I can't believe this. Man, time flies when you're having fun. But you just gotta do it, and it sucks. I know that sounds like shitty advice, and it kind of is, but it's also true. Like my dad would always tell me about discipline. When I was a kid, he would be like, you gotta have discipline. Discipline is the most important thing in the world. That sort of thing. And I didn't really understand what it is that he meant, but now I kind of get it. Where it's like Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? You don't gotta do everything at once, right? Just like do one TikTok a day, you know? If you have trouble streaming consistently, stream, you know, 1 hour, you know, a day. Set one day in your mind, you're gonna be like, all right, I haven't been streaming as much as I want to. We're gonna stream on this day and I'm just gonna make myself do it. You just gotta go for it. You just gotta piss on the moon. You get me, you feel me? You gotta piss and shit, I guess. You gotta be full of shit. No, piss and vinegar, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Shit, I'm sorry. Are you allowed to swear? Are we allowed to swear?
Yes.
Yeah. In the rules, but that's fine. I'm a renegade. I'm a bit of a wacky individual. I've been known to be a bit of a lawbreaker. I'm a bit of a renegade. Did I already say that?
Yes.
When you find something you have passion for, Carrie, exactly. And you know, this might be a bit of a controversial opinion, all right? Because in the indie VTubing scene, people do very much like the idea that anyone can be a VTuber, anyone can be a successful streamer, and I would love to live in a world of sunshine and rainbows where everybody can succeed at anything that they try, regardless of any extraneous factors. But I would say that if you don't like streaming, if you do not, why are you, my Twitch chat? If you don't enjoy streaming, why would you want to be a streamer? Like, maybe it can be a learned thing, but for me, it never was. It never was a learned thing. What are you doing? I never had to force myself. I never had to force myself to do that, you know? And like, you don't have to be a streamer to be a VTuber. You can just like be in the community. You can do whatever you want. You can be a singer, you can be an artist, just do what makes you happy. And I feel like that's like a controversial thing to say in some places. Like, just make yourself happy, right? Just do what you want to do, I guess. Just like, if streaming makes you miserable and you dread doing it, maybe you shouldn't do it, right? If you know, recording song covers makes you want to fall off a bridge, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, and that's the biggest takeaway, I would say, is that there's no set path to success. There is no guaranteed way to become successful. So, once again, your motivation should be intrinsic, right? Your motivation should be that you love doing it, in my opinion. Because if you're only doing something for an external reason, how do you manage a schedule with lots of events throughout the year? Holidays, collabs, and spacing things out? For me, I just wing it, okay? Like, I don't know if this is gonna work for everybody, but for events and stuff, like event streams, just wing it. I don't know, I don't use a schedule. I don't do a schedule. Thank you, Asian Equation. I appreciate you. Thank you. You don't have to be in my Twitch chat. There's a Discord. You dingus. No schedule? Yeah. You don't need a schedule. You don't need it. Everybody says that you need it, but you don't need one. All right? Just fucking go for it. I would say, though, that it does help to stream at consistent times and days. Just like, so that people know when you're gonna be there. You don't need to have like a schedule that's gonna be like, oh, this is the game I'm playing on this day. But like, be like, hi, yeah, I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at like these times, like every day, like all the time. Being really consistent about that is great, is a very good thing to do. Helps being consistent and timing things with others, it's true. That's the type of streaming that I do. I would say the hardest thing about it is the fact that it's so hard for me to do collabs with other people because I'm just so fucking crazy, right? Where it's like I stream 5 days a week, 7 hours a day. So it's like, but like honestly, like I don't really mind if people I know or have talked to come into my stream and they're like, hi, do you want to like hang out like right now? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And that works for me. sliding your schedule around a bit so your fans who can't make normal stream times can occasionally catch you live. This is true. This is true, Turi. But another way around that is archiving your streams. Archiving your streams on either YouTube or I don't know. What else? Where else do people archive streams? Just YouTube, I guess. Just have a YouTube channel. Thank you for the hype train while I'm not streaming on Twitch. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Man, only 30 minutes? It's not fair. I should have had a... No, the panel's over! The panel's over! I wanted to talk more! Only 30 minutes? Do I gotta go now? Do I gotta go now? Yeah, I gotta go. It's okay, Robin. I understand. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. I'm wrapping it up, gamers. Look, I'm a professional streamer. So, takeaway not only for VTubing and streaming, but life in general. Just do what makes you happy and smoke weed every day. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Favorite color? I like the color blue. Because I'm red. But I guess that we just work together. We fit together. The only colors I need are US and A, brother. What can I wrap it up for? Although, should I just, I don't know, start to wrap it up? I'm wrapping, oh geez. Okay, well, thank you so much for stopping by again. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Picture time? Take a picture. Wait, no, hold on. No, take a picture with me, not the ending screen. I'm here. Take a picture. Hi. Hello. Take a picture. Did you guys know I can be bald? Did you know that? I'm a bald person.
Put your hair back.
Well, I don't know. When are they gonna start screaming at me? Well, I don't know. I guess I should. I don't know when the next panel is gonna be. I don't wanna ruin anything for anybody else.
There is no next panel.
I think we should go. We should go. But it was so great talking to all of you and seeing all of you.
Thanks, Tina.
Have a wonderful rest of your time at OffKai. I hope that you had a great time. YouTubers. And I guess I'll see you all next year. Bye.